this part 6 of this 1/32 scale de Havilland Sea Vixen in 1/32 scale. In this episode I'm going to show you the process of actually making the kit, and this is done on a fully professional vac form machine. Here we see the patterns which have been created in a wood and then vac formed over, and then the vac form has been filled with a resin. This resin withstands the heat of the process, and you'll see me take the clear film that comes on the plastic off, drop the model down into the machine, and then place the plastic onto the platen. And essentially what this does is it allows then the material to be heated from the tray that rolls forward, which I'll show you in the next section. Now we will jump ahead slightly to the tail fins outside of the elevator and the overwing tanks, because for some reason the phone ran out of charge and I was left with no other option but to come back a little bit later on. So here we are, the parts are laid up on the machine, and you'll see exactly the same process as what I was saying before with the fuselage parts. They are stuck to a sheet of MDF, and that's cut to size to fit the machine, and they're held on there by double-sided sticky tape. So here we go, we're going to put this in now, and once it's in we'll add the plastic, drop the whole part down into the machine, remove the plastic clear film so it's ready to actually vac form, and then I generally, for the 1.5mm plastic high impact polystyrene that I use, heat it to full heat on the machine for just under 1 minute. This then gives it a pliable nature which is just right for the vac forming. It doesn't droop too much, and because the heat is consistent right across the whole frame, it actually means that the heat is suitable in the corners. Here we see a couple of the moulds that I'm going to use later on for the canopy, and the material I use for the canopies is a clear PETG, which is the same material Coke bottles are made from. That's UV stable, so it's got a slight bluey hint to it, but to be honest you don't really notice it, and it's UV stable, so over time hopefully it won't yellow like plastics that used to be used. So back to the actual process now. What's happening is the machine is heating the plastic from above. Pull the handle, pull the machine on, and voila, just under the minute. Leave the pump going or the vacuum going, keeps the air out of it, and once that's set, what I then do is I remove the part from the machine by reversing the air, so it actually puts a positive pressure underneath. That just releases it from the moulds. Sometimes they stick, so you need to give them a bit of a knock, and there we go. That's one part of a Sea Vixen wing and a vertical stabilizer done. This is actually a very simple process, which it's easy to repeat over and over again, and these moulds are probably 10 years old now. I have some moulds in the range which are probably 30, maybe even longer years old, and they stand up to the process. Some of the ones that are made in MDF are starting to show their age, and because the moisture that's evacuated from the vacuum, it actually does create a little bit of brittleness in the MDF. So what I'm going to show you next is a segment on doing a canopy. Now this is essentially the same process. Using the PETG, I've got a reduction plate on the machine this time, which actually aids in allowing me to use small sections instead of a whole sheet. This time it's 0.05mm material. And as I say, this is UV stable, so I'm actually doing this at a reduced time because it's a thinner material, and I'm using it around about 20 seconds on full heat. So this is a much faster process of actually doing the canopies, and you'll see as this one goes on, it's literally very, very quick. And there we go. And what I do is I leave the film on the inside so it protects the plastic. Thanks for watching.